What's up, everybody watching on YouTube today? So recently, with the completion of the Starcraft saga, I have had a lot of time to shift through Starcraft footage since I am also trying to put together some Starcraft lore videos. Now, with the wide array of content, I have gotten to see every in-game cinematic that has been produced by the Starcraft universe. So I decided today that I was going to make a video of my personal top 5 favorite Starcraft cinematics. Without further ado, I say we hit up number 5, which really needs no introduction. That would be because it is an introduction. Starcraft, Heart of the Swarm, the intro. Let's do this, boys. Number 5.
Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn. Now at last, on this world, vengeance shall be mine. For I am the Queen of Blades.
That sure is a hell of a way to make an introduction, isn't it? That really got me hyped up for Heart of the Swarm, and plus, the soundtrack to Heart of the Swarm is probably the best soundtrack in the entire StarCraft saga, and the intro music, which is track number 2 on the Heart of the Swarm soundtrack, is probably the best song of the entire saga, in my opinion. So, as we head on to number 4 at this point, we're going to visit some old rivals. This cinematic is from Wings of Liberty, where Zeradul discovers the Xel'Naga Temple and runs into one of his famous old rivals from the original StarCraft. Let's get on with this one. Number 4.
The Zerg swarm came, as was foretold. And the Protoss, firstborn of the gods, rose to fight them. Now, this Naga that forged us all are returning. But do they come to save? Or to destroy?
I knew you'd find your way here. Eventually.
Your very presence defiles this place, Kerrigan.
Do you hear them, Zeratul? Whispering from the stars. The galaxy will burn with their coming.
Perhaps. But you won't live to see it.
Please. Our petty conflicts mean nothing now. A storm is coming that cannot be stopped. Fitting that we should face oblivion together.
Never!
Fate cannot be changed. The end comes. And when it finds me, I shall embrace it at last.
The prophecy is uncertain. There is always hope.
You absolutely have to love that one, especially at the end, where Kerrigan just sits there petting the Hydralisk like a complete boss. Now, the reason I chose that one is because we brought two main characters, Zeratul and Kerrigan, finally to the forefront to continue their rival in the Starcraft saga in Wings of Liberty, and which would continue over into Heart of the Swarm. Plus, you gotta love the battle scene between the two. So as we move on to number 3, we all already know this is a love story when it comes to a close. So I decided I would choose my personal favorite moment where Kerrigan and Jim Raynor share their love for each other. And for those who are saying that Kerrigan truly doesn't care about Jim Raynor, take a close look at my selection for number 3 on my list of personal favorite Starcraft cinemas. Believe in me, it's a good one.
I had to get you out.
What have you done?
What I had to.
Tell that to Phoenix. Tell it to the millions you butchered.
You swore you'd kill the Queen of Blades. You were the only one who ever believed in me. Do you still believe in me? I love you, Jim. Never forget it.
We're done.
That was truly one of the most touching cinematics to me between Jim Raynor and Kerrigan, for the fact that Kerrigan goes through hell and high water to free Jim Raynor. If you remember at the beginning of Heart of the Swarm, she originally thought Jim Raynor was dead. Then she goes to the lengths to get him out of prison, finally runs into him, does what she has to do by transforming back into Zurg to free Raynor. Raynor finally finds out, but it shows she has a heart by telling him that she loves him. Raynor swore in the original Starcraft that he would be the one to kill off the Queen of Blades, and in that moment, he finally got his opportunity, which shows he is very vulnerable towards Kerrigan, and they truly love each other throughout the course of the story. Now, we're on to number 2 at this point in time, and a lot of people might ask me later on why this one didn't make number 1. But, at number 2, we have possibly the absolute most shocking event in the entire Starcraft saga, and this one is from Legacy of the Void. I don't think I need to say any more about which cinematic I'm talking about. On to number 2. Sit back and enjoy the fight.
I can hear his whispers. Fight, Artanis. Do not let Amon consume you. Unending hatred. He has corrupted the Kala. Your nerve cords chain you to his will. They must be removed.
without a doubt, to this day, the most shocking cinematic in the entire Starcraft saga. I don't think anyone thought Zeradol was going to end up dying in Legacy of the Void. I think a lot of people actually thought he was going to be the main character in Legacy of the Void, and they threw that Game of Thrones-esque move at us, as I like to put it. That was absolutely shocking, and even to this day, it's very hard to believe Zeradol is gone. Well, finally, we have reached the end of our list, and I am choosing my number one favorite cinematic for the entire Starcraft saga. Now, the reason I chose this cinematic is because I feel it had the most impact on the entire saga. This should be another one that shouldn't surprise people. We're not going to tell you what it is. You should already know. We're finally going to get on to number one. Enjoy what I feel is the best and most impactful to the entire story for the Starcraft saga. Number one, boys.
This is Kerrigan. We've neutralized the Protoss, but there's a wave of Zerg advancing on this position. We need immediate evac.
Belay that order. We're moving out.
What? You're not just gonna leave us.
All ships prepare to move away from Tarsonis on my mark.
Boys, how about that evac?
Damn you, Arcturus. Don't do this.
It's done. Helmsman, signal the fleet and take us out of orbit. Now!
Commander. Jim? What the hell's going on up there?
To me, that is the absolute clear choice for number one. The betrayal of Sarah Kerrigan. This not only was the best cinematic in this game, but I think the most impactful moment of the entire series. It started in StarCraft 1, it carried over into Brood War, and finally we have an in-game cinematic of the actual betrayal in Wings of Liberty. This shifted the entire StarCraft saga by bringing the Queen of Blades to the forefront, and she hasn't wavered at all. She'll probably be in the next installment of StarCraft and every single one to come in the future. I do not believe that Kerrigan and Raynor are done at this point in the StarCraft saga. Well, we've come to the end of this video, and how could I not leave you with an ending? Since there were so many choices for the best StarCraft cinematics in the game, and I didn't get to include an ending cinematic, I have to leave you with one. And the ending cinematic that I chose is the ending for Heart of the Swarm, where Emperor Minx finally gets his from Sarah Kerrigan. This also spanned over the course of 4 games. So, everybody, enjoy the ending. If you like my videos, please like. If you enjoyed this, please sub. Also, in the comment section, I would like to know what your personal favorites are for StarCraft cinematics. Everyone, thank you for watching. Enjoy the ending.
Hello, Kerrigan. I've been waiting for you.
I'm surprised you haven't tried to escape.
Escape? My dear, I'm afraid you've got it all wrong. Really? Did you think I'd keep an animal like you close to me without some kind of insurance policy? Clearly, you are my greatest failure. Now, at long last, you will die. Change of plans.
You can never suffer enough for all the lives you've ruined, Arcturus.
I made you into a monster, Kerrigan.
You made us all into monsters. Thank you, Jim. For everything.
My pleasure, darling. Always was.
I now see my true enemy. He waits for me in the void, wielding powers I cannot imagine. I go to face him, having renounced everything. My humanity, my identity, the man I love. But I will not face this enemy alone. I am the Swarm.